Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. Track 2, Shimmy Shimmy Ya, produced by
bad
RZA.
faith actor Melvin Birch is in the building.
I'm not acting in bad faith. I may jest a bit, but I genuinely like that. I never lie about ratings on this show.
I'm not suggesting you're lying about ratings. I'm saying you're lying on the captain. And, that might put you in tribunal,
Tribunal. I don't know about that. But I do know that Shimmy Shimmy Ya produced by RZA.
That military court.
Oh, no, I don't know about that. I have no experience with that. My dad was in the military for 94?
He's going to be the judge.
He just retired. I should know this.
Yeah, he retired to be the judge at the tribunal of Birch. Off on a natural charge. Bon voyage.
My only defense, I would just sit there and be like, Dad, would you send your own son to prison?
To rab prison.
He probably would.
It's a prison of the mind.
He would do it. He's grounded me enough times that I think he would do it to teach me a lesson. It's not a physical prison.
It's a mental prison.
The last thing I need as a black man in America is more prison.
This isn't real prison. It's a mental prison.
I'm saying that's still more prison. I don't need more prisons. Okay.
All right, fine. It's a mental firehouse.
What? Listen, man. Shimmy Shimmy Ya. I need more of this because it's an 8-.
Folks, we love to hear it from the young whippersnapper himself, Mel. But what does Moulz give it? Who's the true ODB fan here? Well, I'm not here to say one way or another, but I do give it a 9-. Ding me, baby.
Wow.
We got a lot of archival for this one.
We got.
It's not one-upsmanship. It's the number that's on the paper.
I know, but it's the truth of the matter. You gave it a 9-. I gave it an 8-. Technically, you one-upped me.
Well, no, technically on the
You
scoreboard.
didn't do it on purpose. I'm just saying.
No, we're even. You gave the last one a 6. I gave the last one a 6. You gave it a 7.
You're even. Okay. Fair enough. All right.
Who's the fake fan now, Mel?
We got some archival audio here. You've sent me 3 FIOs.
Yes.
What am I playing first?
Well,
we got Shimmy Shimmy Ya Studio Ton Remix, Shimmy Shimmy Ya Clean Edit. Oh, that sounds like a bad thing. And what is this? Ghostface Live in New York City, track 14, RIP ODB.
We're going to save that.
Shimmy Shimmy Ya.
We're going to save that for a little bit because that's for my review. We're going to play the Studio Ton remix. I'm going to play the clean version because there's things that were taken out, like, that motherfucker you can't even sing at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some, additional rapping on it that doesn't exist on the version that's on the album.
Is it the same as, the extended version? There's a...
No, I don't think so. I have the extended version as well, which is it's only a couple seconds more than the regular version. Huh. It's not that much longer. But yeah, let's hear a little bit of the Studio Ton remix. We talked about that in part 1.
All right. Here's a little bit of it.
From the home of the Dodge Brook Squad, Wu-Tang! LLB's on the swarm, pain on your college, disco dawn. For you to touch my scale, you gotta go to one killer bee and he ain't gonna tell. That funky ass that you got to with. So stand back cause I don't want my phone to rub off on your silly billy. Yeah, you too soft. I'm giving that brain a little tickle. I'm better than a licking on your popsicle. Ooh, you know I'm too cold. I leave that ass hanging like a...
I like it. decidedly different flavor there. I'd say the original version to me sounds like a person in an alley who's burning, like talking to themselves, scratching their privates because they liked it raw. That version sounded like a pimp, like slinking into a clinic to get checked out on the low because they're burning. And, they don't want nobody to know, but, they gotta get checked out because it's not good for their health to be burning like that.
Yeah, my bad. I had the mic on mute.
Oh,
While
this guy was on mute.
So, yeah, I just wanted to say, I thought that was a good comparison. The pimp and the guy in the alley.
Hey, baby, I'm feeling a little tingly sensation down there. That's the kind of thing that one gives me.
But I was saying while I was on mute, I guess nobody heard it, that if you've somehow made it this far as a hip-hop head and you've not heard this song before, I don't know what you're doing, where you've been at. Mel, you had heard this song before this week, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I can say that with confidence.
If you've never heard it, we're going to play the clean version, and those who have heard it can spot the differences between the dirty version and this version, which I was like waiting for you to play it, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm on mute.
Wow. All right. Well, here's the clean version.
Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yam, shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away. Off on the natural charge, bon voyage. Yeah, from the home of the Dodger Brooklyn squad. Wu-Tang killer, bees on the swarm. Rain on your college disco dorm. For you to even touch my skill, you gotta go to one killer bee, and he ain't for the kill down. Chop that down, pass it all around. Lyrics get hard, quick cement to the ground. For an EMC in any 52 states, I get psycho. Killer, Norman Bates, my producer slam. My flow is like bam, jump on stage, and then I did that. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. I'll stick out this, in the feeling is made off. Well, good to stand be still hard, it's a rip. Well, we're all like, he likes it raw, deep in the dirty, down to the floor. See, my name is the ODB, and I'll beat you. All the ladies who know me, tell them who the what I be. All the niggas who know me, tell them who the fuck I be. My style comes down on you like rock. Sitting on the dock by the dock, by the flock, by the break, by the block. East Coast lockdown, padlock. My zoo be on down by the flock. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yam, shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away. Off on the natural charge.
Look, I'm quite literally like it raw. I don't know about this clean version.
It's different though, right? There's like a bunch of different shit on there.
Yeah, it's different.
I've always rocked with the dirty version. I wasn't listening to this.
That's what we came for. This is the dirty version. It's in the album title.
That's correct. But this isn't something that I was listening to when it was being played on the radio and whatnot. So I've always known the dirty version. That's just been the version that they play out at shows and stuff like that. And let's start to break it down here. Didn't you say you unreversed
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, that was
audio?
a good, yeah, because you heard it there. It's in the clean version too, apparently. But it's tradition on Rap Rankings. Whenever there's something reversed in one of these songs, I gotta open that FL Studio, because I don't open it to rap no more, and I gotta reverse the reverse. So here's the reverse portion of Shimmy Shimmy Ya.
Will be any aim for the kill now. Drop that down, pass it all around. Lyrics get hard, quick cement to the ground. For any MC in any 52 state, I get psyched.
Yeah, and then stops. Which is a verse from what is that from?
It's from Shimmy Shimmy Ya, Mel.
No, I'm saying, but it was like what part of the song was it? Because like he reversed something that we ended up just hearing later on. Like when I went to reverse it, I was expecting to hear something that like wasn't already a part of the song.
Both verses on the song are the same.
No, I know verse 1 and verse 2 are, but there's a third verse.
Yes, but it's from the first verse and the second verse, the main verse of the song, the one that gets repeated.
I'm saying though, like, I'm thinking of like the extended version, but there's like a third. I was expecting to like unreverse it and hear like new raps. I guess it makes sense, but like we had already gotten those 2 verses so far, right?
But it's not meant to be unreversed.
I guess.
And no, it's in between verse 1 and 2.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
And it's meant to sound like he's rapping backwards, not meant to be reversed. Like, it's not like the Pharaoh Monch thing.
Well, see, if they wanted to accomplish that, they should have.
It sounds like he's rapping gibberish in time with the beat.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, they did do that. I'm tripping. I was gonna say you got to leave the beat untouched.
They did.
And right. So right.
Is this a Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with
weird
moment again?
No, it's not. I'm just trying to make sense of. Listen, these rappers need to stop doing this. Okay. We were warned about this in the 70s. This is that satanic mess. You can't revert. What you reversing stuff for?
It's for not, effect.
No, bad effect. No more.
So you're going on the record and saying you don't like that part of the song.
No, I don't want to go on the record and say that. I don't want to go on the record and say that. I'm just trying to protect my legacy. That's all.
What legacy?
You don't have to be so mean all the time. Okay? I have a legacy. Everyone has a legacy. May not be like a great one or a positive one, but everyone has one. You can't disagree with me there, right? Come on, I got a point.
I suppose.
Thank you. God, finally, somebody lets Mel have a point on this show. This is ridiculous around here.
Well, you're slipping and sliding. You're talking about what you're saying. What song is that line from? It's from this one.
No, I said what part? What I was. You gotta let me work out my brain processes. This is a live show, okay? I can't be perfect all the time,
That's why we listen ahead of time and take notes and stuff like that.
No, I'm saying I got notes. I've listened, but I'm speaking
when you reversed it and heard the line, you should have went and saw where the line came from.
Well, no, I did it right before we came in. I was. ODB wouldn't like this.
Growling is not an appropriate response.
He's a fun-loving man. No, it is appropriate. ODB does it all the time, and and he's a great rapper.
I'm just asking you a question. And you're folding.
We know about you, and when you start asking questions on this show, it's always to make Mel look like a fool. Okay.
Well, you made a strange statement. You said what song is that line?
And
from?
I'm saying you gotta let me work my. I didn't mean I'm talking as I'm thinking. I didn't mean what song. You should have let me like do the and then like start snapping and be like, no, not this, but the part. And that's why you never let me clarify. Okay. Shimmy Shimmy Ya. All right. Talk to me. Why is this a 9-? Why you got to make Mel look bad with your better rating than mine? What's going on here? You love this.
Well, first of all, this is like a classic party track in hip hop. The energy on display on this song, the music by RZA, everything comes together to give you a perfect distillation of ODB's entire id. This is
what
ODB.
Is this, Pitchfork? I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying. You sound like season 1 Mel here, just reading the notes.
I don't have notes, Mel.
I can't beat this guy.
I'm familiar with this album.
I'm saying though, that was a very fluid thought. You didn't write that down?
No, I don't have notes. When I'm really familiar with the album, I don't.
And talk about distillation notes. And id. Okay, you nice with the pen. All right, fine. Jeez,
that was off the dome. That's a Biggie, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne-esque talent. So, let's just start with the beat. RZA has a lot of classic piano beats. He's really the piano man to me when it comes to hip hop beats.
Just a piano man.
Hey, listen, this is one of the great Rizzo piano beats.
Oh, I agree.
You know,
this is the piano's the heartbeat of the record to me. When I think about this record, I think about the piano.
So you got that.
Yeah.
Now, this is one, we talked about this when we did Cream on Enter the Wu-Tang. We talked about this when we did Juicy on Ready to Die.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one, and I definitely talked about this on Illmatic with New York State of Mind.
Okay.
But this is one that I've heard a lot amongst friends. I was mentioning in part one, like, this is one that we would all rap along to back in the day. You know, it got the whole, you got the whole car hype off this song. A lot of times I hear this one at house parties all over, especially, in New York. It's everywhere. And people love Wu-Tang. This is one that, like, hasn't lost anything for me. It doesn't feel played out to me, even though it definitely is.
Probably because it's such a freewheeling type of record.
Right.
I would say it's also interesting, too, to that point. It's like the fact that it hasn't lost anything when, like, the verses are repeated like it's a pop song is, like, kind of... Maybe that's why, because, like, it kind of has that feeling of a pop song. We've talked about this before. I forgot what other song we've done on this show where, like, they basically just recycled the verse, which you don't get often in rap,
No,
but
it's very common in reggae and in pop for sure.
Yeah.
In rap, not as common, but I gotta say, I can't. What else? I mean, I don't know it any other way, But I wouldn't want to see what another verse would sound like in the place of the first verse coming again.
So you're saying you're not interested in, like, the alternate dimension where there's a different verse?
No, this is the one that...
I mean, I'm not either. I'm just saying.
This is something... What I'll say is, I don't hold it against this song. The rating of this song doesn't reflect disappointment in that decision. That minus isn't because the verse that comes after the first verse is the first verse, basically.
Okay. All right.
And I mean, ODB. This is ODB for dummies, basically. You can play this song for someone, and I think they'll understand what he's all about in one song.
In my humble knowledge of him, I agree.
Now, you look at Method Man from Enter the Wu-Tang, where that was a solo record on Enter the Wu-Tang, and it made Method Man this guy that everyone wanted that solo album from him first. We covered it last week.
And then they got it, and then they were upset because it wasn't what they expected.
There was some disappointment. It wasn't considered like an outright failure, but there was some disappointment expressed.
I take your word for it because I was only 1 year old.
Right. This one, however, like Method Man, I think really is a great vehicle for the rapper himself. When this song comes on, it sounds unlike any other rapper.
My question is, throughout this season, will I get like that defining song from every member? Or do some members not have like that one record that kind of...
People have multiples, you know?
Okay.
Like, I'll say this. Method Man's song isn't just Method Man, but that was the introduction song for him.
Right.
Kind of. ODB has, Brooklyn Zoo didn't do as well on the Hot 100, but it did better on the rap charts. You know? Mm-hmm. So, like, technically an argument could be made, although I feel like Shimmy Shimmy Ya has endured more in sort of live spaces versus Brooklyn Zoo.
Yeah.
But, for instance, like, Jizza, I think of the title track Liquid Swords, but I also think of Fourth Chamber. I think of Mystery of Shadow Boxing. Ghostface has, like, so many songs I associate with him. Like, everyone has multiple songs, in my opinion. But
I guess I'm asking, does any member ever, like, fail to establish a unique style or have a defining record?
We'll see, because I'm not that familiar with the U-Gods. I'm not that familiar with the U-Gods output, so I can't speak for him. And
well, that might be the answer right there, because I feel like if he had one, you would be familiar by now.
Perhaps. Capadonna is another one where he definitely has a defining characteristic, but he hasn't done much. Would you like
to share what it is, or will I find out?
We'll find out, but okay. There's something I would say, though, about Capadonna that doesn't make me want to, like, seek out a lot of his solo work.
Does he have a lisp?
No.
Okay, well, we know about you. Moulz is the lisp hater, so I thought maybe it was something
lisp
like that.
Hater. I think it's an interesting profession to go into if you have a speech impediment, because it's a vocal, and it's rap. It's very speech heavy. It's not, singing.
Well, we've discussed this before. I won't rehash it. My only argument has ever been maybe they go into rap to, conquer that.
Perhaps.
That's an admirable decision.
I think also, though, you take someone like Rhymefest, and it's like, why would you put the S in your name?
Well, you got to ask them, Is that I can't get canceled for that, right? Can we get canceled for, like, speech impediment jokes?
I'm willing to die on that hill.
I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna get ahead of it. I apologize to anyone.
I apologize.
Yeah.
But just to illustrate, Mel, how enduring this song has really been, I have some audio from a Ghostface Killah live show at BB King's in New York City. I was at this show, and listen to how much the crowd does for Ghostface.
Okay. Well, here it is. RIP ODB / Shimmy Shimmy Ya.
I just want to calm it down for 1 second. Yeah. You know what I mean? When we talk to him? Because it's like, we lost a brother, right? What's his name, y'all? What's his name, y'all? One more time. What's his name, y'all? That's my heart. Hey, so unique. You know what? Come on. Sing this shit, y'all. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all. Shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. That's right. Louder, louder. Baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Thank you.
Can I just say, and this may sound crazy, it may not, that may have been one of my favorite moments on the show. Because listening to that just felt very pure, as they say. Like,
but you know what's
I'm
crazy,
glad you
Mel?
brought that in. You can feel the energy in the room.
Like we were all singing along that night, but I'll tell you what, if Ghostface was like in Japan, you get that same exact sing along.
My God.
Or, you know, like it's just like
his impact.
The Wu-Tang is international.
Facts.
And some of their biggest songs,
I know this. I've seen it.
Some of their biggest songs will ring off in other countries where they don't even know what half these words even mean, but they know how to say them and the sequence in which they're said because they've heard the song so many times. Wu-Tang's an interesting case because like they had commercial success, but not like the top commercial success, but enough to be, you know, formidable commercially. And of course they have all the respect in the world from like, you know, just like music fans, it seems. Even, you know, they're a group that like a lot of like hardcore kids that I know who do not listen to rap whatsoever, they do fuck with Wu-Tang. They're not one of these, oh, I don't fuck with rap, but I like Macklemore or I like Eminem. One of these like, oh, we know about yous. These yo-yos. Right. Okay? Not quite a yo-yo-yo, but...
Two yos.
Yeah,
right.
no, just a yo-yo.
Yeah.
You know, and they're up and down. We know about them. But these guys are like, come on, man. These guys are respected everywhere, it seems. By even people who don't really rock with hip-hop music. They're like, yeah, but I do fuck with Wu-Tang, though. There's something about the energy. Maybe it's the iconography, even.
I would say, yeah, it's the iconography. It's the fact that they established a whole lore for themselves and then followed through on it. I mean, there are multiple members, so there are different styles you can get behind. Like, they really were, I mean, it's kind of genius. They set it up so, like, there's a Wu-Tang member for everyone, most likely. You know, they got the same, like, they've got their own style, you know, their own flair. They're not hesitant to deploy it. You know, a lot of people, you know, struggle to just be different, you know, out of fear. You know, when I heard the debut album, I didn't get that sense that, like, okay, these guys are, like, insecure or, you know, which I think is interesting given the year we were in 93, like, still pretty early in hip-hop. And I would say at that point, you had different rappers doing different things, but it's not like it is now where like a guy can come out and no one really bats an eyelash like that. Like back then you kind of had to rap one of a few ways. Otherwise they were looking at you crazy, you know? Right. So the fact that they just came in like, all right, we finna bring in like Kung Fu samples and have a bunch of like, we got a dude named Old Dirty Bastard, you know? And it's like, and just did it and didn't make excuses for it. Didn't like, you know, that's dope. It's dope. Maybe that's what it is. People just like that they present themselves without any reservation.
But I think
I know I like that about them.
The hardcore people, the metal people, I think they also like those, you know, the kung fu elements, the comic book elements. You know, you got the Liquid Swords cover. It's a comic book. And jizz is slicing through someone. You know, it's that kind of stuff that it just resonated with a whole different audience, but it resonated with hip hop crazy, you know, and that's what you heard right there. And that's what you would hear in Peoria if Ghostface came to Peoria and just did that exact same thing. Anyone who's going to that show knows the words to this song well enough to sing along to all these different parts.
Ghostface, if you're listening, don't come to Peoria. There's nothing here. It's like Twin Peaks here. Like the energy's just off. Don't come here. Lil Wayne was supposed to. I think it was advertised like I forgot. It was like 07, 08, something. it was like, oh, Lil Wayne's coming to town. But like, I think it was a lie. Like his name was on the marquee and everything. And like, I remember thinking in high school, like, I gotta go to this. Like, this is destiny. Like, but like he never showed up.
If it was anything like the 07, 08 Lil Wayne show that we went to it was in Albany at the Armory. And it was the worst show, one of the bottom 5 worst shows I've ever been to. And I'd love to tell you how Wayne was, but I couldn't hear him over the sound system. Like, the way they had it set up, the bass was so high and everything else was so low, all you heard was the beat.
Oh, man.
So he was just standing up there with his stomach hanging out of his sweatpants, with no shirt on, stomach hanging out of his sweatpants like the yellow bastard in Sin City. And he's rapping, but we can't hear him. No one can hear what he's saying. We just hear the beats. And like the tweeters and the subs and all this shit were just going crazy, but we couldn't actually hear vocals.
Shout out to Sane is Crazy. Hashtag rap shows.
Hashtag rap shows indeed. I just stood there and watched him with his guts sticking out for an hour.
I'll correct myself. I'm wrong. I was completely wrong era. It was 2015. And it was around my birthday. So he did come to town. He did show up. He went to Cruisins on Farmington Road. It was the Sorry for the Wait 2 tour. Yeah, and there's footage apparently. I've never seen this.
Oh,
but like, yeah, he showed up, I guess. I would guess that was probably a big event.
He's a better performer now than he was then, but this wasn't a performance issue. This was a venue sound issue.
Uh-huh.
And just a bad show. But I remember we went because he got arrested at the Beacon Theater show in New York. And that was like the tour bus incident, which we'll cover in the future. But long story short, he said he would never do a show in New York again after that. So when he had a show 2 months later in Albany, we were like, fuck it, we're going to drive up to Albany because he said he's never coming back to New York. So this might be our last time to actually see him in New York.
Right.
Technically. That ain't no New York.
Well, all I can say on the Wayne topic is this person commented on this Peorio footage on YouTube 5 years ago. Omar Clements said, I was there. Well, Omar, I was not, sadly. I wish I was.
When we do Sorry for the Wait 2 on Patreon for the mixtape reviews, we'll have Omar Clements come on and discuss the night.
Oh, I'll track him down. He's probably still around here. People don't escape this place very often. Look at Mel, you know. Yeah, I'll look up Omar, see if I can find him and bring him on and let him enlighten us. But yeah, Shimmy Shimmy Ya though.
Classic long rap review right here. The first song, you know.
Well, yeah, right. It's first song because the intro is an intro. I don't really have much else to say other than this should have been the first single over Brooklyn Zoo. And I got a joke.
Brooklyn Zoo did better statistically.
Did it?
At the time, yeah. Brooklyn Zoo is technically considered his second highest grossing single behind Got Your Money.
Oh, man. Huh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I stand by what I said, though. It still should have been the first single. But my joke is, what do engineers say when they're awaiting the stems?
I don't know. Stimmy,
baby, I like it raw.
I thought you were going to say Shimmy Ya.
Yeah. Come on, folks, send them WAV files. Then you know what it is. You know, raw, uncompressed. We don't. I know some people out here that will send.
Oh, and I thought you meant like real engineers, like.
Oh no, man! Who cares about them? That's fake. That's
like
fake.
Mechanical engineers and stuff.
Come on, freaking MIT bozos. We know about them. All right, engineering. No, we do know about them. They're what's wrong with the world. Okay, they're always engineering stuff, and they need to give it a rest. We don't need nothing else engineered.
Are you going on record right now denouncing engineers?
Yes, I am. We need no more engineers. We've engineered enough. Bring them back in like 8-10 years. For now, no more. Yeah. What else? Oh,
I guess the engineers won't be voting for Mel in the 2028s.
I don't need them. Who needs them? We don't. I'm telling you, we don't need them. Okay. So there ain't too many of them because they're big egg brain. What are eggheads? They're eggheads. All right. There's such a small percentage of the population going in big brain schools. Can you tell I've been watching Stanford lectures and like MIT stuff on YouTube? Wait.
No.
Okay.
Thank you for telling us, though.
No problem. To be clear, I'm not a hater. I'm not. I never wanted to go to any of those schools. I don't care enough about
this man is watching the lecture shows. He's like the ghost of Christmas past, you know? Seeing what could have been. He's sitting in these virtual lectures.
Why you gotta expose me? Why you gotta do that? Yeah, I was sitting up here at 2 a.m. watching like, I wonder if I would have cared about school enough if I could have gone to one of these distinguished institutions. But no, I would have crashed and burned. We know about them too.
We discussed them on the Forbidden Fruit review, on the J-Co review.
You know, I was reading the comments on one of them videos, and it was like this dude was doing. I don't even watch these TED Talks because I don't trust them. But it was some kid from Harvard and talking about Harvard is hard. Like that was the crux of it. And it's like, it's okay.
I know the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Well, he's the better Ted for sure.
He talks.
Yeah. Speaking of knowing about those people, is like in the comments, they were like, some person who went to one of these schools was saying like, they went there and they were miserable. Everyone was miserable, the students and the faculty. And like, he asked like one of the counselors there, or like someone in the administration, like, why is everyone so miserable? And like, he answered matter of factly, it's like, because this is the place where everyone comes and like discovers their limits. Like, you know, those types of environments, everybody comes there as like, you know, they were the big fish in the small pond. Now they're in the big
gifted
pond.
Kid in their school, but then they realize like, oh, intellectually I ain't shit. Physically I ain't shit.
Know?
Spiritually like, I ain't shit.
And like, you know, you have people like me where it's like, I'll come to that realization and I'll be like, interesting. You know, I feel bad for a little bit, but then it's like, all right, well, hey, you know, because I have no shame. We've discussed this with Daniel on the show. I'm a shameless individual. But anyway, why are we talking about Stanford? Yeah. What else about this song? My only 2 other things is when he says, for any MC in any 52 states, I get Psycho Killer Norman Bates. Shout out to Norman Bates. Great movie. But 52 states.
Shout out to Norman Bates. So we know about him. We know about Norman Bates.
Yeah, we know about him. Look, I'm not endorsing his activities. He's an iconic indivial. So
that was the original incel, that Bates.
I was about to say it, the original incel. Yeah, you know. What all incels since have aspired to be.
So what were you saying, Mel?
Yes, 52 states. What is this? Are there 2 states I don't know about? I wrote our Moulz Mel states, and we don't know.
No, there's 50 states, right?
Okay.
And then there's 2 other states.
What are they?
Alaska and Hawaii, right?
No, that's part of the 50.
What about Puerto Rico?
Oh, aren't they like a what is it, like a district or territory or something that we have?
Maybe we had 52 states, but we don't anymore. 52 states. Let's see about
I know we had 48 for a while.
I thought we had 52. Are there 52 states? There are 50 states. The last 2 states.
50, and that's why I'm like, what is that boy talking about? There were 48 for a while, and then we got Alaska and Hawaii in 1959.
I've always said 52 states. Maybe because of ODB.
You're kidding. Really?
Yeah. Wow.
No, you're okay. This is a bit. You're pulling my leg here.
No, I was today years old when I found out.
When you found out that there were just 50 states.
Wow, you know what? Take it back right now. I'm the most Wu-Tang. I'm the most dirty. I'm the most hip hop. On this one. All right? I let these motherfuckers trick me. All right.
I let this man Moulz talk all kinds of ways about me. He thought he was 52 states in this country, y'all.
Why do I need to know that? That's so unimportant. That's stupid person information. I know all the states. I'm going to read them off right now. South Carolina, Delaware, New York, Philadelphia. Oh, I know all the states.
Oh, man.
Fucking idiot. Stupid person knowledge. Hey, I can name all the presidents. Do you know?
That's stupid person.
George Washington, Andrew Jackson,
that's stupid person.
Thomas Jefferson. Sure. Nobody cares, bro. Your knowledge sucks. You chose the wrong shit to memorize. For any MC in any 52 states, he's accounting for possibly they're going to make new states.
I'll tell you, no, he's accounting for DC and Puerto Rico, as Breyer would say.
He's inclusive. He's inclusive. He's an ally to America.
All right.
ODB should have been president, bro. Think of the times we could be having.
My final note is the little soundbite. You got to sing or something to get some pussy. And I said, what you think I was trying to do from 2016 to 2020? Okay. And that's my only note. So
turns out,
final note rather.
Turns out it's pussy repellent.
Maybe I wasn't singing right. We know about me. But
no. Come on, Mel. We know about that classic though. Will it play?
Well, yeah, I got one classic though across 4 years. What's that? Okay. One hot album every.
All right, so let me ask you though.
4 years.
Big Sean,
better than Nas.
Big Sean's been around since 2007. Okay, so in the 15 years Big Sean's been around, how long does it take for him to make a classic?
Well, I don't think he's made one yet.
Well, then I rest my case.
Oh, your case was just a doo-doo one. Can we leave Big Sean alone, man? He's a nice guy. He doesn't bother anybody.
He's not going to make a classic. You made a classic in 4 years. He didn't make one in 15.
Oh, man. Sean,
you're a classic man.
You're my fellow Aries brother.
You just said he didn't have a classic. I didn't.
It's okay to not have a classic. It's okay.
No, it's not. It's fucking embarrassing and shameful.
No, not everyone can make one. I'm not saying that you should accept. No,
you know what I have to say to people?
You should always strive to have one.
You know what I got to say to a rapper who has no classics?
No classics.
Well, that too, but we laugh at people like you. Rappers with no classics, we laugh at you and make fun of you in private. Okay? Pathetic. No classic person.
Oh, man. Where's Jadakiss? That's what happens, I guess, when you don't have classics.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, that's like, I don't know, easily like 96% of the, like every rap, like the whole entire, every rapper in existence, I would say 96% of them don't have classics. Not just in current existence, throughout the history of hip hop.
But
even
you're
the ones
we've
like never heard about.
Hundreds of thousands of people.
Spit a rap. Yeah, exactly. Potentially millions. Who knows? But
million rappers.
Listen, you thinking too locally, okay? You know what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says? It's a global audience. Rap is, you just said it, Wu-Tang's international, okay? There was probably some Japanese kid rapping in his bedroom and we just never knew. He might have had a classic.
RZA once put out an album that he produced, and like the gimmick was like each song's a rapper from a different country.
Let me guess, it was not a classic.
I don't know. I don't speak all those different languages, so it would be unfair for me to judge some of this music. I hear people rapping in like Portuguese and German and shit. I'm just like, all right, I don't know what's being said.
All right.
Although, you know what? I like that Booker T, that Bad Bunny.
Well, Booker T is great, but that's an English word.
What about that girl Rosalia?
See, that's how you transcend language, okay? Malamente. Every time I say it on this show,
give me that beat. Give me that beat, and I'll come back to rapping. But it has to be given to me by Rosalia herself, and I'll start rapping again.
Man. All right. If I was a different kind of person, I would say, "What do you mean by that?" But
what do you mean by that? What's his name? Drewski?
Oh yeah, Drew.
Hey,
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. You know?
All right. Anyway, this has been
let's,
a long track review, my friend.
Shimmy Shimmy Ya, you know? We talked about
Shimmy.
that. We talked about rap.
Shimmy.
We talked about...
Shimmy!
All right. Let's move it along. Okay, brisk pace. Shout out to Lipton. Here we go.
Who?
Yeah, they have not been here this whole review. Between part 1 and this, the Lipton is very upset.
I know
see
James Lipton of Inside the Actors Studio.
Oh, that guy. Didn't he pass away?
He did, yes. Sad.
That was unfortunate. I like that guy. Anyway, Lipton. Oh, no. We need a new sponsor.
Why?
They're British, bro. I didn't know this.
Excuse me? They're what?
It's a British brand of tea. I always thought they were.
I thought us Americans threw that stuff in the river and made it ours.
That's. That was good. That Boston Tea Party, y'all. That was a moment in history. Yeah, very wasteful moment in history. Thomas Lipton of Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh no, he's Scottish. He's not British.
Yeah, but I guess it's some. They say they're British.
They don't know what they're talking about. They're confused.
We're good with the Scots. They're cool.
They're confused. They think they're British because the British brainwashed them. They're freaking. They're not historical. They've gone hysterical.
Let's move it along, man. Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform.